transformation is with this thing we call the academy. And again, brilliant people, without
Yeah.
a doubt. I'm humbled every day by how brilliant my colleagues and just the knowledge we have access to, yet all the metrics are getting worse. How
Yeah.
is that possible?
Yeah, that's part of what's so tragic about it, is to have such intelligence, such wisdom, so many insights,
Yeah.
and mounting up over decades while the situation keeps getting worse. I think of this, in terms of like environmental ethics as a
Yeah.
field starts like the early 70s.
Yep.
So in the meantime, it's been like 50 years since the
Yep.
inception of environmental ethics, and so many
Right.
amazing insights have developed, and that whole time things keep getting worse.
Yep.
And so at
Yep.
some point you're like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Where's the leverage for transformation?
Yeah, and that's where the activism point comes in of our scholarship. And at the end of the book, I pull on Ibram Kendi. I'm looking at his book over there. He differentiates between the public scholar and public scholarship. Right, public scholar, if I'm getting this right, I have to reread those pages in his book and my book. Right, it's probably just creates like we do and publish just to get knowledge out there.
Yeah.
Right, whereas public scholarship is, no, you're taking a position and using your scholarship publicly to advocate for something.
Yeah.
Because the way I look at it is assuming, right, so there's sort of activism in what we do, which to me feeds into all our mission statements. Right, the mission statement of the College of Charleston is literally to work with our students so they can innovate solutions to social, environmental, and economic problems. That's sustainability, triple bottom line. Like literally the mission is to work with our students so they innovate solutions to these problems. And so if we're not even talking about them, because that's activism, I'm actually by definition not doing my job. And I would probably imagine you and everybody else viewing this could easily go straight to their mission to realize we actually do need to be talking about this stuff, right?
Yeah.
So the public scholarship point is, right, well, is this activist work? Just as there's no neutrality around BIPOC issues, especially post lynching of George Floyd, right?
Mm-hmm.
And even prior, right? It can't be, and now the pushback on critical race theory, right?
Yeah.
I mean, look, this is the world we inhabit, we need to make sense of. But I would argue saying scholarship is just dealing with what we're trained to do, and it's about this thing, religion. How is that not an activist statement, right? Who decided that, right? That to me is just as much as a normative statement and an activist understanding of what, because there's a should, this is what
Right.
we are doing and don't do. How's that any different than me saying, well, or you, well, we should be doing scholarship that actually addresses climate change,
Yeah.
right? They're both a we should do type statement, and one it's an activist and the other it's just as what we do. Like, I don't buy into that, right? And in fact, I would say that is just as much of an activist statement saying we don't do this stuff, and it's a maladaptive statement because we need to be doing this stuff, or like literally your campus will be underwater.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's exactly right. Yeah, and for me, I'm at University of San Francisco. It's a Jesuit university.
Okay.
And so then you have the full force of like the Pope and Laudato Si and all these kinds of things. And
you have the wide open pathway to be doing this.
yeah. And yet, not a lot happening. And Jesuit universities in general, they're kind of slowly having some initiatives and having, we're going to have an environmental sustainability institute now. And it's like this, at this pace, this would have been nice decades ago. But
there
now
we
need
exactly.
like so much more, so much quicker.
And look, I mean, I'm driven in part. So the urgency you literally hear coming out of me and seeing the text is by the students that I feel beholden to. Like, they're coming into my class scared, concerns, in a way excited, right? They're like, we're the last generation to change this, and it's like, well, we felt the same way, but but you might actually be this go around, right? And so like, I feel beholden to them, and if my scholarship isn't speaking to a better future for them, well, it's, to me, from my own standards, it doesn't have really any value at this stage in the ballgame. It can't.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, to your point, right? Yeah, institutions change very slowly. So I hope my book is just going through all the other coming out, right? There's a whole new book that I didn't have access to. David Haberman has a new edited one. Is it Indiana Press, looking at case studies?
Yeah, we had him on a couple months ago to chat about it.
So, I think we will see more and more. There's some great Robin Globus Feldman, Willis James. I mean, there's great Whitney, everybody I'm citing in the book doing this stuff. But, I'm hoping my book is more of a starting point that can be referenced. And in 10 to 20 years, the hope is it's just cited as something, not because it was great or groundbreaking or anything, but just as like something that is part of this other constellation, this little bit of time that helped redirect what we're doing to have to go down this path, because we don't have any more time to not be going down this path.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're out of time. That would be a terrible note to end on.
Now we don't have to then. No,
um,
and there, I mean, there is time, and like,
yeah,
look, it's like people like me and you in the academy, like we all have our sphere of influence, and
yeah,
so, I invite anybody viewing this, I'll get on a Zoom with you and talk to you about my experience running a sustainability institute and trying to do culture shift that way, administratively. But I mean, we all have a role to play, and
yeah.
and it might be where funders and deans going to go.
Mhm.
There will be more grant money coming into the space. It's going to have to.
Right.
And that's what I argued in the religion dispatches. Like, this is what our students are going to be actually demanding by 2030s. If we're not offering this type of stuff in the classes we're
Yeah.
teaching, I just don't see students signing up to take them, for various reasons. So look, we all have a role to play in getting in shifting what's going on. And to me, that's really exciting. And
Yeah.
so many new literatures to engage and new classes to teach and lessons to come up with and research to do. And I think it can very much, the humanities have to have a role at the table, and what an adaptive future looks like has to have a role. And therefore religious studies has a huge role to play
Yeah.
in bringing, right, the skills we have of normative judgment, textual analysis, understanding of power, understanding how people build culture, right? The role of ritual and ceremony, the role of fundamentalism and blocking this stuff, right? All that stuff has so much, Sam, to play in this space, that our colleagues throughout the academy, so much to offer in this space. We just need to get into the space and do it and see us as being part of the space, rather than seeing this as having nothing to do with what religious studies does.
Yeah. Yeah. Very well said.